Etymology and historical origin of the baby name Janice. Janice is a name created by American author Paul Leicester Ford. She's the titular character in his 1899 historical novel Janice Meredith, about a woman who assists George Washington and Paul Revere during the American Revolution. Ford's novels were generally met with considerable success, and so he was able to introduce a wide audience to this new name. It's basically an elaboration on Jane, the English female equivalent of John. John is the anglicized form of the Latin Iohannes, from the Hebrew Iohannes, meaning Yahweh is gracious or God is generous, merciful. John has always been and continues to be one of the most successful English names of all time. Since the Middle Ages, European men of all ethnicities rediscovered the name John during the Crusades, which were a series of holy wars whereby Christians attempted to recapture the Holy Lands from the Muslims. From that point on, John became an ultra-popular choice among the English, bestowed upon 1 in every 5 boys by the end of the Middle Ages. The female version of this name, Jane, has also been one of the most successful and frequently used of all girl names since the 16th century. It's no surprise then that Jane would spawn some new variations of herself such as Janet, Janessa, and Janice. Personality of the girl named Janice. Romance is the hallmark of the 6 personality. They exude nurturing, loving, and caring energy. 6s are in love with the idea of love in its idealized form, and with their magnetic personalities, they easily draw people toward them. Like the number 2 personality, they seek balance and harmony in their life and the world at large. They are conscientious and service-oriented, and a champion for the underdog. These personalities naturally attract money and are usually surrounded by lovely material objects, but their human relationships are always primary. They thrive in giving back to others rather than being motivated by their own desires. This is when they achieve great things. 6s are natural teachers, ministers, and counselors. Popularity of the girl named Janice. Janice first appeared on the American female naming charts in 1899, the same year that Paul Leicester Ford published his novel Janice Meredith. The name showed immediate promise on the charts, advancing pretty steadily up through the 1920s. Then, in 1932, Janice landed a position on the top 100 list, cementing her popularity and fashionable usage. The name's peak popularity was achieved in 1951 when Janice was the 21st most favorite baby girl's name nationwide. In fact, Janice was a top 25 choice for about 20 consecutive years, between 1937 and 1955. The name would finally fall off America's top 100 in 1968 and decline in usage progressively from there. Janice just recently fell off the top 1,000 list of baby girl names in 2010, and she has yet to resurface. Today the name Janice is given to so few baby girls that it's barely on the American radar. Apparently, her stylish days are behind her, and she's considered a little too outdated by today's more modern standards. Those mid-century gals, i.e., the ones so popular in the 1950s, have been sent to the cemetery. Janice has gone by the wayside along with Linda, Patricia, Barbara, Carol, Donna, and the like. Quick facts on Janice. Gender, girl. Origin, English. Number of syllables, 2. Ranking popularity, not applicable. Pronunciation, Janes. Simple meaning, God is gracious, merciful. Characteristics of Janice. Affectionate, sensitive, loving, community-minded, humanitarian, family-oriented, compassionate. Cultural references to the baby name, Janice. Literary characters of the baby name Janice. Janice Meredith is the heroine of Paul Leicester Ford's 1899 historical novel, Janice Meredith, a story of the American Revolution. The teenage Janice is the fun-loving and privileged daughter of Tory sympathizers on the eve of the American Revolution, who falls in love with one of Washington's men. Now there's a dilemma. The book was adapted as a play in 1900 and then as a silent film in 1924, starring the delicious Marion Davies as Janice. The love story is played out against the background of a significant historical era, but the unique and independent character of Janice is riveting enough to stand on its own. Popular songs on Janice. A song by the Planet Smashers, explicit, Janice. Famous people named Janice. Janice Dickinson, former American supermodel.